When you travel U.S. Highway 45 from Madison County to the Mississippi border, you'll be celebrating some great musical history. With the governor's signature on a bill introduced by Representative Jimmy Eldridge, you are now driving on what is called the Rockabilly Highway. This is the Rockabilly Highway Band playing a song written especially for this occasion. You may recognize Carl Mann on the vocals and W.S. Holland at the drums. Both are rockabilly legends.
I'm an old guitar player and got a musical background, and they asked me to play with them, so we got to play the Rockabilly Highway song on the house floor and draw more attention to our great music heritage of rockabilly, which is part of the great heritage of music throughout the great state of Tennessee.
These festivities took place at the Rockabilly Hall of Fame and Museum in downtown Jackson. This building was once a Jackson fire station, but is now Henry Harrison's tribute to a musical genre with roots in Jackson and West Tennessee. Rockabilly and the museum draw fans and visitors from all over the world.
Rockabilly is not only big in the United States, it's really big in Europe. You know, they've kept that legacy going. They love that rockabilly, and when these people come in here for the Rockabilly Fest, you'll see these ladies get off. They'll have tattoos of Elvis on their shoulders and arms, and they'll be wearing some of the dress of the 50s, such as poodle dresses and all this, and it's quite an event. If you know, would love to invite everybody out for the festival.
This is important for the city of Jackson, but I would say this is even more important for the state of Tennessee and really for the world of music. This is where rockabilly music started. Carl Perkins and W.S. Holland and all of those folks. There's a musical genius behind that story needs to continue to go out around the world. And there are people who do know about it around the world. That's why the tourism's increased here. That's why you see people coming from overseas to Jackson, Tennessee, when they may not know anything about any other part of Tennessee. And once they're here, then they want to find out about other places. That's why it's so important for the entire state.
Some of the great people that are featured right here in our Rockabilly Museum here in Jackson have traveled up and down this road for many, through their careers and for many years. Elvis Presley and W.S. Holland and Carl Perkins and Carl Mann and Rayburn Anthony and all these great musicians. Roy Orbison traveled up and down this highway, and some of them rode up and down this highway to play at some of the little honky-tonks along the way back in the 50s and before they became as famous as they are today. And so it's a great legacy that they've left behind for us, and we want to continue this legacy of our music heritage so that future generations can enjoy this great music.
All right, here we go. St. Louis woman wears a diamond ring. St. Louis woman wears a diamond ring.
The name rockabilly is a blend from rock and roll and hillbilly, referring to the early country music of the 30s and 40s. But rockabilly was influenced by many early styles, including the blues, jazz, and 1940s boogie-woogie. Some historians say the genre began to percolate when Western swing was introduced by Bob Wills. The Maddox Brothers and Rose may have been the first actual rockabilly group and added the slap-style stand-up bass. Even Bill Monroe's driving bluegrass style is considered an early influence. But in 1954, a Western swing band leader named Bill Haley recorded Rock Around the Clock, and things really began to change. Memphis, Tennessee, 1954. A small independent recording studio called Sun Records was the gathering place for some new, young musicians who were ready to cook. Their names are now legend: Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Carl Perkins.
Fills my heart and soul that this kind of recognition will help enhance the music, rockabilly music, especially for today's generation. I know that my dad would have been very humbled, but very fulfilled in his heart and soul where this is concerned.
Carl Perkins and his brothers Jay and Clayton were playing music in the rough honky-tonk circuit around Jackson, Tennessee. With their drummer, W.S. Holland, they headed for Memphis to audition for Sam Phillips at Sun Records.
Well, it's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe.
In 1956, Carl wrote and recorded Blue Suede Shoes. The quintessential rockabilly tune sold 20,000 records a day at one point, was the first million-selling crossover record, and is performed by virtually every rockabilly band.
W.S. Holland, who started out with my dad in 1954, drove the highway going to Memphis, and little did they know, just four guys that were setting out trying to just record a record, that they were driving into musical history back in those days.
There's a restaurant down in Selma, Tennessee that is so excited about it. They're here today, and they've told me today that they want to change the name of their restaurant. They've got a lot of rockabilly memorabilia hanging on their walls, but they said, we want to change because of this, they want to change the name of the restaurant to Rockabilly Restaurant. So this is good. It's good for tourism.
In 2006, which is the last time we had numbers that were official numbers, it was a $13.4 billion industry. We've gotten in our new numbers, which I haven't released yet as formal. It went up another $1 billion to $14.4 billion. I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, we just keep seeing these huge increases, and even with the challenging economy, we're perceived as very affordable. We're close by, so a lot of people can make a quick trip here. They know once they come, they're going to have phenomenal entertainment. It's gorgeous. So Tennessee is positioned to do well.
So Jackson and West Tennessee rightfully claim their spot in the roots of this hugely popular musical style. The Rockabilly Hall of Fame and Museum is a living and growing tribute to the music that blended several styles and opened the doors for its predecessor, rock and roll. Rockabilly's influence is unmistakable, from the Beatles to the Eagles and many of today's current performers.
I worked with my dad for 22 years, played drums in the band with him, and of course pretty much traveled around the world, and to see the appreciation for the music in places like England, Australia, and Germany, and I was a very gifted and blessed young man to not only just share the stage with his father, but to be a part of that.